Welcome to another exciting episode of Blank Canvas. Bring down the DJ on set. So, a lot to cover today. Really exciting. So, yesterday left off on pretty much paving the path for how to use research, or how to use YouTube for research, rather. Give you a bit of context. If you're new here to Blank Canvas, it's a project by Plinko Solutions focused on bridging AI and automation and doing so in an accessible way. So a large part of what I do in these quick little 10 to 20 minute clips is break down what I'm doing right now as a sole proprietor that's building AI for people 9 to 9. So specifically building systems and sales infrastructure to actually support and drive revenue. So kind of bring you into it. Typically, I go down the specific pillars. Sometimes it's a blend. Yesterday was kind of a rapid fire going through them. Today, I wanted to dive really deep into 2 specific projects. The first one being that YouTube transcript kind of researcher. And the second one being a project that I haven't shared before or seen necessarily out there, which I think is really cool. It's kind of the gateway to pretty much doubling your marketing assets without any extra headcount, extra cost per se. It's a really innovative, really cool way to kind of go about it, and it's not doing it in a way that you've seen before. So without further ado, kind of take you through it. So to begin, let's kind of draw you into the YouTube stuff before I kind of go into all the logic here. So I mentioned yesterday, there's a few different approaches. One is using Appify. The other one is using Airtop.ai. So what's really special about Airtop, if you've ever seen Manus or even ChatGPT Agent, this is a really cool alternative to it because it allows you to basically research and pull information in a very tangible way. It also offers a very extensive free plan that pretty much allows you to use this agent, kind of simulating a browser. It's called a browser agent, but simulating a human that's interacting with the browser and actually building with it. There's a few really cool ways you can go about it. For our sake and purposes, I'm just going to draw you through what I'm using it for. So there's a few ways to kind of go about building with it, right? You can just build within the platform. There's a little playground here. You can set up pretty much your profiles, your logins, whatever you'd like the agent to have access to. And then you can send it to our URL and actually have it simulate, going to it and actually clicking through and pulling information. And you do it prompt by prompt, building it through natural language. For our sake of purposes, for today, I'm going to do a deeper dive with this exact product with Julian Reeves, Citizen Developer, showcasing kind of how I've built this. But the automation that I have in place pretty much takes it step by step and showing you kind of like what it does. So actually, probably should have added the screenshot piece to all of these so you guys can see it. But basically, what's happening here is it's drawing from this Google Sheet, right, that has these different YouTube videos. And again, there's an intake process, which I can fully build out being client-facing, but for sake of demos, just to kind of show you guys what's happening here. It's going ahead and sectioning those row by row and creating an individual session that then creates a new browser window. It then goes through and makes sure it goes and clicks the video to pause it, right? So there's a little prompt there. And then have it scroll down to the video description next to the more. I have a screenshot kind of showing that as well. So if this is working, I get to show you guys how that works in real time. So this right here is just a process of cleaning the information so I can present it. Again, you don't have to do this per se. There's easier ways to go about it because this one, the additional 10 seconds of just pulling this giant string, then taking it over to a new tab, pasting it in, seeing what we get. So this one had an ad. Let's see if it followed kind of what I wanted. I want to scroll to the description next to more. Click the element to view the full description. So we'll see if it did that successfully. So I'm pulling full buffer, pulling this again. Once you do it a few times, it becomes kind of second nature. you can do this while you're looking and debating what playlist you're going to put on next. And as you can tell, recently I've been deep into the house side. Anyways, pulling this information, taking it, pasting it up top here. And I didn't forget the paste. So it looked like it clicked the description and opened it up. Now we can only hope that it went. Click down to show transcript. So there's an additional scrolling I think might have been missed here. And we'll see if that is true when we pull basically what do we get back. Boom, so yeah, it failed to scroll. So basically from there, if I had that scrolling piece in there, it would go take that information, feed it into here as a transcript, and then yeah, iterate over it, create a little presentation layer, update the row. As you can see, it'll say, we didn't get it fully. So quick little tweak, take the 5 minutes to do it here. Let's just add in that scroll. So we know that was right after the screenshot piece, before clicking the element. Basically, we just want to ensure that this is happening. So for all sake and purposes, I'm just going to copy and paste it in, make sure it has all the same information, and that's just a little extra, layer of caution to make sure it actually works. So while that's running, in the meantime, I think it's kind of smart to walk you guys through why we're doing this in the first place. So I'll take it to the, all right, I'll let you guys see it. Why we're doing it in the first place. There's twofold approaches. One, launching a YouTube channel here. I'm actively doing research, figuring out what's performing well. So by pulling the top performing videos, pulling their transcripts, getting insights, unique angles, that helps inform the direction of what I'm doing. The second part of it is it also allows me to have something that I can connect to existing automations to enrich, learn more. So think about this as an enrichment flow, which is really great. Enrichment being, learning more about your target demographic, target trend, topic, just seeing what's actually performing within the space. And this is using YouTube. You could do this across many other platforms using the same kind of style where you're mapping it out one by one, pretty much building the pipe for it to go and see. If I was smart, I would have added the extra screenshot right here so I can actually view it. I will say there is variability. So depending on the session, if there's an ad, if there's not an ad, those are things you can't necessarily control. Yeah, so give this one more shot here to kind of show you what pops up. And then I'll take you into where this sits in the grand offer side of things. Yeah, so I'm tempted to jump, but I see the bar moving. Yeah, we'll just give it a beat. But the big aim from it is that you're able to actually pull useful information from it when you're able to actually extract from the transcripts. The Appify approach, if you're looking at 50 cents per 1,000 leads, this gives you a bit of a different one where you're able to get a lot more information for this was probably 20 to 30 credits. You get a free plan of 5,000. You can imagine, how many videos you can get out of that. It's quite substantial. And I think from there too, combining this approach with the Appify one allows you to get a lot of information in a very accessible way. All right. So I'm seeing this here. If it throws up an error, it will be tears in my eyes. Let's see what the screenshot gave us this time. Just for sake and purposes. This. Again, the variability, right? Variability, variability. That's the word. You can tell I'm doing this quite late into the evening. But essentially, what we're able to do here is we grab that, throw it at the top here. Bada bing, bada boom. Looks like we scrolled a little bit, but we still didn't get to scroll down there. So if I threw a screenshot underneath it, probably get to pull that. Anyways, let's see what we got here. That took a while, so I'm assuming beautiful success. Wonderful success. Goddamn, it was a lot of success. Pulling a lot of ad stuff too, which is interesting. So let's see what kind of cooked up. See what we got out of that. Yeah, interesting. It's in JSON format, so I could clean this up and make it a bit more markdown. But that's it. We got our key insights. I mean, if I wanted to split more out of this, I could realistically set, these individual summaries, which is what I did here. There's the markdown. In fact, let's add a column here. Markdown output. Make use of this. So the templates for this will be out soon. I am tying up a few loose ends with it just to make sure it's kind of foolproof. Also understanding kind of how simple it is to set up is really cool. There's a lot here actually. Let's do this. So subject. I know you guys didn't ask for the singing, but I'm not making it on the voice. Best believe we'll be trying here. Just marking that down. Use out my short-term memory. We're looking at insights. Perfect. So we're going to pull that over here. And then just basically map it all on. So very, very straightforward. You see I'm just kind of mirroring it, refreshing it, and then just mapping it. Very, very straightforward. So bada bing, bada boom. Works like a charm. And as you see, operations as well, very, very minimal. Let's see what we got here. I guess this is, it says 0. Well, 188. My fault. That's the old one. 188. So yeah, you get, I think it's 1,000, if not 10,000 on the free plan, which is substantial for Make.com, and then 5,000 free credits on Airtop. So that's the YouTube search. Now, let's take you into kind of where this falls in the bigger picture of things. So one big project I've been working on, and it's not fully complete, but it will be soon, where I combine Make.com, N8N, and something called vectorizing. So when you turn something into a vector through what's called a vector embedding, you're creating essentially a barcode, a unique ID that as if a library catalog could access. Why is that important? The intent behind being able to scan a web page and then turn it into a kind of catalog point that you can reference later on gives AI the capability to talk to you through and about your boss. Why is that powerful? There's a lot of things we can do with that. One, digitize and preserve, which is amazing. That's empowering, especially being able to do it through just like an iOS shortcut versus I just slapped the mouse. Did I close it? What did I do? Oh, there it is. So being able to do an iOS shortcut and have that kind of scan and dig through it is really powerful. What I'm still working on to kind of make it accessible to people is the front end side of things. So how people can access it and really use it. Right now it's an iOS shortcut. So I want to make sure in terms of being able to troubleshoot and see, basically interact, talk to it. That's where N8N kind of comes in place. So I'll be building this live. And then the back end of that is actually the Supabase, the actual, I'm not sure if I'm going to use Supabase or a Pinecone, but building an actual database, doing that with no code. I'll also be doing that live. So this project in its entirety is called The World Has All the Answers. And it's a project that I kind of brought to the roots when ChatGPT first came out. And I had no idea how to do any of this. And I didn't feel I had the confidence to do it. Now endeavoring on it, it's 80% of the way there. Being able to tie that into a marketing flywheel, which basically is the process of attracting people by giving a free tool, a free kind of resource that's actually useful to them. Then engaging with them to actually see how to improve it, how to improve the experience, how to kind of meet their expectations with automation, and also delight by educating them on where automation truly drives revenue, which is in these two funnels, marketing automations and the sales automation. I talked a lot about developing sales infrastructure, but the truth of the matter is this only works well if you understand how people are even getting to you in the first place, the pre-sales funnel. The automations that exist, though, are less about the insights and analytics. While those are there, those are great. The real linchpin is businesses that are constantly manually creating marketing assets, graphics, visuals, ideations. Ideas is where I was going with that, to kind of like actually share your story and talk about it and empower people meaningfully. The phrase, I saw an angel in the marble, carved until I set him free. That's a philosophy that you bring to the table. And it's a financial philosophy because it's allowing you to sculpt the story of transformation in a very meaningful way. In order to do that, you have to have the frameworks and the written kind of approach to iterating on that and figuring that out. So there's a lot of business development, a lot of funnels that kind of take place here. And this is kind of the process. When I get them in the door, there's a bit of education that has to happen for that. And that's a real linchpin in the place. Like, if you don't have it in your existing ecosystem, that when you onboard somebody and someone shows interest, that you actually interact with them and talk to them, you lose a lot. And being able to carry that, have those conversations, create the discourse, now has enough volume where all the sales stuff actually matters. The lead generation side of things, getting people to learn about your business, the enrichment side of things, learning about the people that are interested in your business, nurturing, actually having those conversations and continuing it. That's what really drives revenue. But in order to get here, you got to bring people in from here. So that's kind of the overarching piece of it. The YouTube automation falls right over here, pretty much, just bringing people in, top of the funnel. And that's really what we're looking to do, engage and interest and entertain and educate, of course. So bring back the camera here. That's a quick 10 to 15 minute spitball of what the game plan is here. I'm going to be building all of this live over the next 30 days. So if you're in tune for that, I'm really, really excited to share it with you. And as soon as these things are kind of fully cooked up, best believe the first audience that will get access to it are the very ones following me for the journey. So that being said, see you guys in the next one.